All right, second semifinal at the Copa America. Uruguay, Colombia, Wednesday in Charlotte for the right to face Argentina in the final on Sunday. Uruguay seeking a record 16th Copa America title. Colombia looking to extend their 27-match unbeaten streak. For Uruguay, Araujo had an injury in the quarterfinals. Nández was sent off, so those could be two big misses. For Colombia, they get Jefferson Lerma back. He was suspended for the quarterfinal against Panama. Ale, lots of success for Colombia in this tournament. What, to you, has been the key behind it?
I think Colombia are a sneaky team in terms of their organization. We tend to focus on what James Rodriguez does. And much like Argentina, in order for James Rodriguez to be able to do what he does, there has to be a group of players around him that are willing to do some running. And you see that from Colombia. And the back line has been solid. Through the midfield, they've been very, very disciplined. You have, I think, outstanding breakout performances from guys like Richard Rios, who, playing alongside James Rodriguez, drives with the ball forward, hits shots from distance. You have the work of Daniel Muñoz on the outside back. And scoring goals. And overall, this hasn't even been the most dynamic or most explosive or most productive performance from Luis Diaz, and yet this team are in the place that they are. So even without the best version of Luis Diaz, we got closer to seeing that against Panama, and you're seeing a team that has so many different ways of beating you. And the one thing that I think, more importantly, above all the things that I've said, what Colombia have going for them coming into this semifinal is, one, they're rested. Their bodies and their minds haven't been stressed nearly as much as Uruguay has. And two, they are confident. They were confident coming into this tournament, and this tournament has only served to build on that confidence and to feel a whole lot better about themselves. The fans from Colombia as well. As I've said before in this show, might as well be in Medellin, Barranquilla, Bogotá.
They're showing up.
That is the environment that they're creating in stadiums, and so it really puts Colombia in an advantageous position.
Is that success in kind of the run that they're on? Has that built to the optimism
the momentum
of the fans and everyone behind, because they think this could be, with the way, everything you mentioned, everything, the way they're playing, the confidence that they're having, that, I picked them as my favorite coming to the tournament, and they haven't disappointed me, and I don't see any reason why.
Well, thank you for the reminder, Casey. I appreciate that. Thank you.
How significant is what we assume will be a major home field advantage for Colombia against Uruguay in this game? I mean, Charlotte's not a place that maybe is known for Colombians, but we've seen Colombians take over stadiums all over the United States.
We see this with the Mexican national team, how they'll be full of Mexican fans, but it doesn't quite feel like you're in Mexico City. There's a big difference when it comes to that. And I think we're going to experience something similar. It's a fiesta. It's a grand celebration when there are Colombian fans here in the United States, but it doesn't feel like you're in Colombia. It may look like you're in Colombia, but it's not the same.
Sounds like it on the television.
I'm sorry. Have you been watching the same games?
Oh, you know what it's like to play away in CONMEBOL, how hostile it is.
I know, but I feel like there's been a lot of flights from Colombia to here in the United States. I'm just saying. But some of that energy in some of the stadiums, the fact that they not only in the game against Brazil, which you think Brazil will outdraw anybody in the world, no. It was all of Colombia just completely taking over the stadium.
Sure, but I'm sure if you ask Uruguay if they'd rather play Colombia in Charlotte or Colombia in Colombia, they're going to say,
well, of course.
Send me to Charlotte.
Well, of course.
Send me to Charlotte.
Well,
and I think that plays a factor here.
Well, of course.
So that's going to go out the window because there's going to be some Uruguayan fans.
Do you see a weakness in this Colombia team? I think I asked you that after a couple games and you struggled to find one. Is anything else?
They're so well balanced. I think this has more to do with how Uruguay respond and what they have left, because Ali was talking about that fight that they had with Brazil, what's left physically and mentally. Nández is out suspended with that red card. You have Ronald Araujo, who comes out injured. In his place, Jimenez comes in. And then Viñas, the left back, goes out with some sort of knock. And, it's Oliveira who goes on to the left, and it's Sebastián Cáceres who comes into that back line. So what's left of Uruguay? And not only that, what type of Darwin Núñez are you going to get? Because Darwin has won a game. He's got one clear opportunity a game. Can he convert that? Can he put it away? Because you may only get that one opportunity versus this Colombia. And this Colombia team, they're not just full throttle one way. They can hold the ball. They can go through the midfield with Richard Rios, with John Arias. They can go direct one with Cordoba, their 9. They can have a free kick specialist
they've looked great
in
on
James
set piece.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, good
they
point.
can go 1v1 with Luis Diaz. There's so many different ways they can hurt you that I think is going to preoccupy Uruguay just a bit more. And my fear for Uruguay when it came to the latter stages was they would run out of steam. I think we're there with them.
Casey, to Herc's point, what's your level of concern or confidence when it comes to Darwin Núñez that he can do the thing that Herc's questioning, whether he can be decisive in that moment? We know he can get into good spots
for sure.
But can he be the guy in this game?
Well, I think that's been what all the Liverpool fans have been wanting to see. Obviously Uruguay fans want to see. They want to see that ratio come down of chances to goals scored. They don't want 4 or 5 chances for 1 goal. They want 1-2 chances for a goal. And I think that's part of the problem with Núñez is he needs 4 or 5 chances to get that 1 goal. And the way we've seen Colombia defend in this tournament, I just don't see him having that many opportunities. So his efficiency in the final third is going to have to be spot on. Otherwise, I think it could be a tough day for Uruguay.
Can I put forth a public service announcement?
Yes, please.
And I want to talk to the director of the feed of this game from Colombia and Uruguay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Look, I'm just saying.
Here we go.
PSA. Please, when Darwin Núñez, not if, but when Darwin Núñez misses a chance, please, por favor, I beg you, do not cut to Luis Suarez and make it seem as if Luis Suarez would have scored the chance. Please. It's all news. Luis Suarez cannot move. And so I would make the argument that, yes, if Luis Suarez were able to get in that position, he's more likely to score. But getting to that position is a challenge at this point in his career. So please, do us a favor. Do yourself a favor. Don't cut to Luis Suarez every time that Darwin Núñez misses a chance.
2 or 3 Copa Americas ago, you could have cut to him, but right now.
Ouch.
With Uruguay, how much?
I'm just saying. I love me some Luis Suarez, but come on.
100%.
You've touched on it a little bit, saying like you're worried that Uruguay is going to run out of steam. And I think what you're touching on there is some doubts about the Bielsa style over the course of the tournament. If you look at Bielsa's resume, it's missing tournament trophies. There's some trophies mixed in there, but international tournament trophies outside of the Olympics with Argentina, it's missing. Is that a worry from a Uruguayan perspective, that the manager, as great a job as he's done, is not built for this?
Yeah, all I would say is that I think we have to be careful as to how we evaluate Uruguay in the earlier part of the tournament and then in the last couple of matches. In the earlier part of the tournament, it was all pressure all the time, in your face. Against the United States, it was different. It was more grind. It was more, we'll sit in here and we'll make this about physicality in the midfield and physicality in our defensive half. Against Brazil, they were forced to do that because they went down a man. And the game was physical to begin with, and it never got into a situation in which they were just pressing all over the field. They couldn't do that once they went down a man, and of course, they just sat back and forced this into more physicality, more physicality, more physicality. My concern for Uruguay is the physical stress and the mental stress that they have put themselves through over the last couple of matches, because it has been taxing, because it has been such a grind. And while I love me some Uruguay grinding, it just seems that in order for them to be successful against Colombia, they have to get in the face of James Rodriguez. It can't just be we're defending from here. No, I got to get tied to the guy. I got to be here. I got to be in his face so that I impact what he does and I can change what he does. If they don't do that, then I think Colombia picks them apart. And that's when it becomes challenging for them to find those legs that I don't think are quite there.
All right, let's get some predictions. Why don't we? As we look ahead to the second of the 2 semifinals, Uruguay, Colombia, Wednesday in Charlotte. Casey, what do you think?
1-0 Colombia.
1-0 Colombia. All right, so that's a Colombia-Argentina final in Miami. That's going to be a tough ticket to get. Ale?
Did we already do predictions for this game? I want to be consistent.
I don't think so.
We did them for our friends at ESPN Caribbean, but that was for another.
All right, okay.
I think we just picked the winner, though. I don't think
we didn't do a final score.
Yeah.
I'll say, I'm going to agree with Casey. I'm going to go 1-0 Colombia.
Colombia. All right. Herc, anything different?
No, just a scoreline, 2-0 Colombia.
Wow, I'm surprised it's unanimous Colombia.
You're going Uruguay because you don't, yeah.
I'm just going Uruguay because I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
What's your primo doing?
I picked them at the beginning of the tournament because they were plus 550, which was a good value.
Okay.
So Primo's probably taking the under in this game. I tell you what, I think it's probably going to be more of a
I will say this:
Uruguay, Brazil than a Colombia,
that's
Panama.
right. If Uruguay has a chance in this game, it's
They're gonna
going to
muck
be
it up, right?
Because this game is going to
they
get
got-
grind
Oh,
city.
look at that. Odds of a red card, plus 270. I'll take that one.
Whoa,
I will
is
take
juicy.
that one.
All right, ESPN bet
This
handing
is gonna
away
be-
money.
It's going to be the Montevideo special.
They've never watched a CONMEBOL game, apparently. All right, so special edition of ESPN FC coming up tomorrow after Uruguay against Colombia. It's kind of a special edition ESPN FC Football Americas. It's a combo. Should be on right around 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time right here on ESPN+.